How do you do, everyone? You know who I am, E.T. Templar, Supreme Misfit Professional Dipshit. And if you haven't been living under rock, the Epstein list came out. And there's this weird thing that came out momentarily that was deleted by the Department of Justice. And what this section was, I believe it was the CIA or somebody trying to throw this in there to try and discredit and to get propaganda against Trump out, to create a sensationalized bullshit story out there. But this is my 2 cents on it and why I think it's absolute bullshit and the holes in this theory. Of course, so I'm not going to share that here. You can probably find it other places, but alleges Trump involved in weird sexual acts, bodies being buried as golf course, to someone witnessing a murder. But the one thing the leftists and anyone else in the mainstream media leave out is this. So, online complainant reported, because of course no one's ever lied online, right? Because everyone tells the truth on the internet, and we can always 100% believe the shit people say on the internet. And of course, right here, this also says complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate incidents involving police, which requested in mandatory psychiatric evaluation. So whoever put this about Trump or snuck this in to the Epstein files has already had 3 separate incidents involving police and needing psychiatric evaluation. So whoever put this out, whoever's saying this and alleged these things is fucking crazy. Let's go one step further. So right here on the left, you might not be able to read it, but I'll read it for you. So this is in reference to the person who made these allegations and stuff. No contact was made. Victim identified is deceased, and complainant did not have confirmed information. So complainant did not have confirmed information, alleging that this is all allegations and horseshit. This next one says phone number provided was bad, could not identify a valid number. So we're supposed to take the word of this potentially crazy asshole or asshole-ess that alleged all this shit in the Epstein files, has no way of contacting them, is probably dead. So we're supposed to take this phantom dead person who wrote all this stuff about Trump and take it at face value, who had 3 incidents with the police ending in psychiatric evaluations. And the bottom says no contact information provided. So that's, I think 2 of those are referencing to this person, and the third one is to a different allegation. So that person said all these things or put it in the Epstein list or documents and didn't even leave a phone number. So this person is so adamant about getting Trump, right, arrested, that he didn't even leave a fucking phone number to allege or bring out this proof that they did say. So right here it says, in this section, here's another interesting twist. Online complainant reported that she was a victim and witness to a sex trafficking ring at Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Now, of course, this guy says the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes did not exist in 1995 to 1996, so it wasn't even built yet. So this person is alleging that there was sex trafficking at his golf course that didn't even exist yet. There's also one more interesting thing about this Trump Epstein release, at least this section anyway, was that the person, whoever released this, if this is like some CIA or deep state government backstory, or you know how they have those cover stories, in 1990s, when this allegedly came out or was investigated, the person in this report said President Trump at a time in the 1990s when he wasn't even candidate yet. So we're supposed to believe that this person not only saw this stuff, won't leave a contact information for follow-up investigations, but they somehow also predicted Trump being president way back in the 1990s. So that's what I think this is. It's shot full of holes. And that's why, if I had to say why the Department of Justice did away with this section of the Epstein files, it wasn't because they're trying to cover up for Trump. It's because it's a shit document that whoever's witness this supposedly is not only shoddy, but has psychiatric problems and has had run into the police, and is alleging just all kinds of wild, heinous stuff that we can't even say here on YouTube. but that's what it is. It's either someone in Langley wrote this fanciful shit up and forgot not to reference Trump in the 1990s, and not only that, reference to places that didn't exist where these supposed crimes happen. So again, if there was sex trafficking or orgies or whatever happening on this golf course between 1995 and 1996 at a place that didn't exist yet, that's pretty interesting. So I think that's someone tried to sneak this in to create sensationalist garbage against President Trump. And that's what I believe it is. And it's just so full of holes that it's not credible whatsoever. But again, like we said earlier, the funny thing about all this shit is that when leftists and liberals and opponents to Trump are sharing this, they'll leave out stuff like this, online Complainant reported. They'll totally black that out themselves. And they'll black out this part. So they'll single-handedly censor the stuff that shoots the holes in this Epstein thing. In some of these sharings, I've compared this with other posts, and these parts have been blacked out in the reports. And same thing with here. This side here where it speaks about, one person being dead and the complainant did not confirm the information. This was blacked out. And this was blacked out. Phone number provided was bad and could not identify number. This was blacked out. So leftists and opponents to Trump are actively taking these and censoring out pieces of the documents themselves to twist the narrative to make it look like, oh, Trump was doing these weird things. And of course, it's what liberals do. They claim to be proponents and, fighters of misinformation when they themselves put out the most misinformation. So it's a political poppycockery, and that's what it is. They're trying to put out sensationalist shit that didn't happen, as well as censoring important information out in the Epstein lists themselves. And yeah, that's what it is. If you've seen people making these crazy allegations about Trump, it's what it is, and they won't point out the fact again that this person had 3 incidents involving police and requested in mandatory psychiatric and evaluations. And that's what it is. There's holes all over this alleged shit. And I don't believe it, because if you're referencing and saying these things that happened on places that didn't exist, that's a lie, just straight up. And there's people who are just buying this shit and running with it in total. And yeah, that's what it is. There's other stuff, coming out with the Epstein list that is even crazier and heinous. I probably won't cover them, but this was just my 2 cents on this section about Trump and the holes of it, and it doesn't pass the smell test. And to wrap this up, if you were to report something on someone like a high political figure, you figure, you'd want to leave a contact information or a way for the FBI to contact you, as well as have actual evidence on hand. There's no evidence here. This is just hearsay and what someone's saying. And of course, if you remember, online complainant reported, which means this wasn't even a real interview. It was someone online reporting this. And of course, it's like with the Steele dossier, right? The dirty dossier that was true. Remember that Trump had hookers piss on him? Which is kind of funny at the end of the day, because this is coming from people who don't kink shame, right? Let's just say hypothetically, Trump's into waterworks, right? Or water sports. Like, who are you to judge? Maybe Trump likes it a little bit wet, right? So it's the same people who again have no morals, while trying to play a moral game. And even if, that was in the privacy of his own hotel, even if it was true. So it's funny how these people play these fucking mental gymnastics where they put out bullshit, they believe it, and then they, censor stuff in the Epstein list and hire Jonathan Steele, to put out this fake bullshit document to smear and influence the election. But then again, remember, to these people, when they lie, when they produce misinformation, when they mislead, it's okay because it's for the proletariat and it's justified. But if anyone else doesn't, then all of a sudden it's bad and an attack on democracy, even though the people who are involved in most of the propaganda, bullshit, and misinformation are people on the left. But hey, it is what it is, and that's my 2 cents on this. Hopefully you found this interesting. See you next time. God bless, stay happy, stay healthy, and watch out there. The more these people try to engage in violence and trying to start shit in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the more this shit doesn't work, the more unhinged they're gonna get. And I'm already predicting that there'll be quite a few negative, nasty comments here. But it is what it is, and these people are insane, and they will lie, besmirch, and put out absolute garbage and censor original documents to make it seem like their story's more credible when it's not. So here's a bonus take. If Trump was actually involved in 1% of the filthy, nasty shit they're alleging, someone by now would have used it as blackmail to destroy him. Someone by now would have used that even way back in Barack Obama's term when he was spying on Trump and spying on Trump towers and utilizing the Department of Justice and FBI against him. If there was something there, they would have found it and stapled Trump's ass to the wall by now. Right. And there's no way that if he was involved in Epstein or whatever, it'd be too big for them not to utilize it to influence elections way back in 2012 or whatever, right? When he was like first elected. But that's where we're at, is that the left, the mainstream media, the deep state, CIA, whatever you want to call them, they're at the point now to where they're actually trying to sneak in inconsequential or real Epstein stories to try and like get this man impeached or whatever. But he's, that's why they call him Teflon Don. Nothing sticks because there's nothing there. Anyways, see you next time.
Money. We gotta make some money.
The sky